in that high-profile case involving an undocumented immigrant who shot and killed a young woman in San Francisco, now acquitted of murder. Her death, a rallying cry for President Trump on the campaign trail.
We're going to shut down the sanctuary cities.
Overnight, President Trump calling the verdict disgraceful, what her family is saying this morning.
President Trump rallying support for his tax bill as Republicans clash over the cost, scrambling to convince holdouts to get on board before a crucial vote this morning, as President Trump touts that record high on the stock market.
NFL star and a new lawsuit accusing this Philadelphia Eagles player of seducing another man's wife. The scorned husband claiming alienation of affection, demanding $50,000. Could you be sued for the same thing?
In their big debut, brand new images of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle at their first official event since their engagement. The soon-to-be American princess beaming next to her fiancé. Fans screaming in excitement as the world prepares for the next royal wedding.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Happy Friday. Good morning, America. And take a look at those new images again. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle making their first official appearance together since announcing their engagement. The crowd going wild.
The crowd was going wild. They were screaming, "Hi Harry, hi Meghan." That's what we would do if they were here too. Yeah. But they say she's a whole new kind of royal, and I think we all kind of dig
walk,
that.
they talk, they smile.
That's
we'll have a lot more on that head.
Like us.
We have a lot of news to get to as well. We're going to begin with that controversial verdict out of San Francisco, where an undocumented immigrant has been found not guilty in the 2015 shooting death of Kate Steinle. President Trump made her death a rallying cry for his border wall. Overnight, he called the verdict disgraceful, and Steinle's family also spoke out. ABC's Clayton Sandell starts us off. Good morning, Clayton.
Hey, good morning, George. You can see there's a candlelight memorial that was placed here overnight on the pier where Kate Steinle was shot and killed. Prosecutors believe this was a murder, but the jury deciding this lightning rod case disagreed. After 6 days deliberating, the jury found Jose Inez Garcia Zarate not guilty of murder or manslaughter.
We believe the verdict is a correct and accurate reflection of the law.
Kate Steinle was 32, walking along San Francisco's waterfront in 2015 with her father when she was shot.
She loved life and the people in it, and she loved us, and I miss her greatly.
In a 2015 jailhouse interview, Garcia Zarate admitted shooting Steinle.
Did you shoot Kate Steinle, the lady who was down on Pier 14?
Yes.
But claimed he'd found that gun, and when he picked it up, it fired. Accident or intentional, the case supercharged the presidential election's debate over illegal immigration. Garcia Zarate was a convicted felon, previously deported 5 times.
We're going to shut down the sanctuary cities that have led the preventable deaths of so many.
Just before the shooting, Garcia Zarate was in jail on drug charges, but those charges were dropped, and San Francisco officials set him free, ignoring a federal ICE request to hold him. Overnight, the agency said this tragedy could have been prevented if San Francisco had simply turned the alien over instead of releasing him back onto the streets.
From day one, this case was used as a means to foment hate, to foment division, and to foment a program of mass deportation.
Steinle's father told the San Francisco Chronicle the verdict came as a shock, saying justice was rendered, but it was not served. President Trump tweeting too, calling the verdict disgraceful. Garcia Zarate was convicted on a minor weapons charge. For that, he could face jail time. But after that, ICE officials say they will try to deport him again. Robin?
All right, Clayton. We're going to go to our senior justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. He's in Washington, D.C. And Pierre, the Department of Justice had a very swift response last night.
Robin, good morning. That's right. The Attorney General issued a blistering statement blaming San Francisco, which is what is known as a sanctuary city for undocumented immigrants. In the statement, Jeff Sessions wrote, quote, San Francisco's decision to protect criminal aliens led to the preventable and heartbreaking death of Kate Steinle. Sessions said that the suspect would not have been on the streets of San Francisco if the city had worked with immigration officials to remove him. Law enforcement officials tell me that the Justice Department may pursue federal charges in the Steinle case, Robin.
The family is going to wait and see about that. In other news concerning the Russian investigation, and you have new reports.
Special counsel's office has incurred total expenses in excess of $5 million in the first months of the investigation. Those expenses include money for staff and travel involved investigating whether associates of the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians in the 2016 election. A more detailed breakdown will soon be released, but those numbers give you a sense of how broad and aggressive the probe has been, which also includes targets like former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who was recently indicted, and Trump's former national security advisor Michael Flynn, who's now in Mueller's sights and apparently contemplating cooperation with the special counsel. It's comparable to the $70 million spent over 6 years on previous investigations like the Whitewater probe, Robin.
That's right, it is comparable. Thank you, Pierre.
They are casting a wide net. Let's get more on the Russia investigation now from our chief White House correspondent, John Karl. John, that's the Mueller investigation over there. There are also new reports that the president trying to curtail the congressional investigations into the Russian collusion.
Yeah, the New York Times reports on several Republican senators who have been to end those congressional investigations. Some of those Republican senators are on the record, including Richard Burr, who is the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. The Times writes this: Mr. Burr said Mr. Trump was not fully aware of the impropriety of his request because the president still has the mindset of a businessman rather than a politician. And Burr tells the Times, quote, businessmen are paid to skip things that they think they can skip and get away with. But that is a highly unusual thing for the President of the United States to call members of Congress, key members of Congress, and tell them to stop investigating him.
Meantime, John, it had been full speed ahead for the president's tax bill in the Senate yesterday when all of a sudden it hit a snag late in the day over cost.
After Mike Flynn left, he turned that down because of personal reasons, but would have to see if he was offered it this time, whether he'd take it. He was deputy commander of Central Command under Jim Mattis. They are very good friends, and like Mattis, total warriors, but Harvard also has experience in his past.
Lots of churning on the president's national security team. Martha Raddatz, thanks very much.
And George, there's also new fallout on Capitol Hill over those sexual harassment allegations. Calls are growing for Representative John Conyers to step down as he faces multiple accusations and a House Ethics Committee probe. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi doing an about-face, now saying he needs to go. Our senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce has more. She's there in Washington. Good morning, Mary.
Robin, good morning. Well, John Conyers remains hospitalized this morning with stress-related illness, a clear sign that this controversy is taking a toll on the 88-year-old congressman as the drumbeat for his resignation is growing louder. In a rare move of bipartisanship, this morning leaders on both sides of the aisle are calling for Congressman John Conyers to go.
I think he should resign. I think he should resign immediately. Congressman Conyers should resign.
But the congressman's lawyer says he's not going anywhere.
It's not up to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi did not elect the congressman, and she sure as hell won't be the one to tell the congressman to leave.
The powerful former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus says he's made the case to Conyers in person.
He has given us over 50 years of great service, but this was not going to get any better. In fact, I could see it getting worse.
Conyers denies all allegations of misconduct, but admits paying one former staffer a $27,000 settlement. Now, Congress has secretly paid out $17 million to settle workplace complaints, and we've now learned of a big payout for claims against disgraced former Congressman Eric Massa, close to $100,000 in taxpayer money paid to 2 male staffers. It's the largest known settlement of its kind for misconduct by a single lawmaker. Robin.
We've been hearing a lot from Conyers' lawyer, and he's asking why there aren't calls for Democratic Senator Al Franken to resign now that more women have come forward accusing him of sexual misconduct. What are you hearing from senators?
Robin, I've talked to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who say that they feel the allegations against Al Franken should continue to be investigated by the Ethics Committee, but they are calling for a swift review. Now, some do note that the allegations against Franken are very different and that, unlike Conyers, Franken has apologized.
True. All right. Thank you, Mary.
Okay, we're going to get the latest now on Matt Lauer facing new sexual misconduct accusations after being fired by NBC as the network faces questions about what they knew. ABC's Lindsay Davis here with that story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. While questions continue to swirl about just who knew what and when, we're now hearing from Matt Lauer's first wife, who was married to him in the 80s. She's telling Entertainment Tonight that she supports him 100%. She also says that she called Lauer last week to tell him a reporter showed up at her door and said some things were going to be coming out and that he said none of it was true. 1 week later, of course, those allegations came out and he was terminated. And now we're starting to see the first images emerging of the former Today Show host in photos by DailyMail.com leaving his $33 million estate on Long Island, New York. As many as 6 women have come forward with allegations of sexual misconduct by Lauer. One alleges she was summoned to his office for sex. Another claims that he exposed herself, and others accuse him of making lewd, inappropriate comments. NBC unequivocally denies any knowledge of complaints against Lauer prior to Monday. And Jeff Zucker, the former president of NBC Universal, who led the Today Show when he was just 26 years old, had this to say.
Obviously, I've known Matt for 25 years, and I didn't know this Matt.
In a statement released Thursday morning, Lauer said, "There are no words to express my sorrow and regret for the pain I have caused others by words and actions. To the people I have hurt, I am truly sorry." He added, "Some of what is being said about me is untrue or being mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed." As of last night, it appeared that all of Lauer's social media accounts had been deleted.
In that statement, some hints also of what Matt's going to be doing now.
I mean, he says in the statement very clearly that repairing the damage will now be his full-time job.
Lindsay Davis, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. And now to a new record-breaking moment on the stock market. The Dow closing above 24,000 points for the first time ever. And this comes as Republicans try to pass their tax plan. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here to break it all down for us. What does it mean for everybody, Rebecca?
Good morning, Michael. Well, for those who have an account like a 401k, it means you're doing quite well. This is the biggest one-day gain of 2017, just 30 trading sessions after surpassing the 23,000 mark. The Dow closing above 24,000 for the first time ever, thanks to optimism about those planned Republican tax cuts. Since Trump's election last November, we have hit 6 of these new 1,000-point milestones. So what's really getting things higher here? Well, consumers, we're spending more. We're feeling more confident about the economy. Remember the Black Friday sales weekend. Second, the major factor is potential for tax reform. Many companies have said they will pass those savings to shareholders in the form of stock buybacks and dividends, which is good news if you own stocks. About half of Americans do, but not necessarily, Michael, if you are waiting on a raise.
If you're waiting on a raise, you're okay. Well, where did things go from here? Everybody's excited about it hitting 24,000. Where did it go from here?
So if you look at that typical 401k right now, this year so far, it's up about $16,000. We've now seen this bull market in stocks. That is stocks rising without any significant drops, go on for almost 9 years. Some are going to say, well, what goes up must eventually come down. What happens next in the near term really depends on this tax plan. Does it get passed?
So much is hinging on this tax plan.
A lot,
yeah.
yes.
It has been an extraordinary run.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rebecca. And we're not done. We got more this morning. Those new images. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, making their first official appearance together since announcing their engagement. Marking World AIDS Day with charity events in Nottingham, a cause important to both of them. ABC's Terry Moran is there. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Michael. What a special day for the people here in Nottingham and for this young couple who all of Britain, it seems, has taken into their hearts. And what a day for Meghan Markle as she leaves behind her career as a professional actress and takes her first step into her new role, the role of a lifetime.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are greeted with huge cheers as they emerge from their SUV. The crowds are really excited here in Nottingham, England, to get their first glimpse of this royal couple on their first official public engagement to commemorate World AIDS Day, followed by a visit to a local school.
There's something both glamorous and sweet about him, and the crowd is responding to this kind of pop star atmosphere for this American royal bride-to-be meeting her people for the first time.
They began working the line together, but soon struck out on their own. Meghan wearing a navy blue coat and a big smile, greeting young and old alike, receiving flowers from one woman. The couple, who will be married at Windsor Castle in May, told the BBC earlier this week they were excited to start working together.
I know the fact that she'll be really unbelievably good at the job part of it as well.
is obviously a huge relief to me, because she'll be able to deal with everything else that comes with it. But no, you know, we're a fantastic team. We know we are.
Her and Harry together really have this ability to be a real tour de force on the world stage.
Well, the team is still inside there right now. And this city, very close to Harry, he's been coming up here quite often privately, to work with at-risk kids. And, of course, on World AIDS Day, across so close to his mom, Princess Diana. Michael?
And Terry, we know that Meghan's been an outspoken human rights advocate. Do we expect to see her at any events in the future?
Absolutely. This is something that they say, if you remember in that interview, that brought them together, their shared passion for making change for the better in the world. She has walked that walk as an actress, using her success to be a women's advocate for the United Nations, to work with World Vision Canada. This is part of who she is, and very much part of who he is as well. Guys?
All right, thank you, Terry, using their influence for good.
Yeah, right, and they seem so comfortable.
They
Wonderful
sure do.
to see.
Already.
Yeah,
I love it.
great,
Fitting
great.
into the role well. And we've got much more on the royal couple coming up, and hearing from people who knew Meghan Markle when she was younger. And that's all coming up a little bit later in the show, George.
That's right, but now we've got to go to Ginger. Big cold blast coming.
Oh, you guys have no idea. A week from today, it is going to start, and it is going to really feel like December. But today is the first day of meteorological winter, and it feels it in Stevens Pass, Washington, up to a foot of snow in just 48 hours. But we've been in this zone of flow so mild for the next few days. Serious Arctic air, guys, by the end of next week and next weekend. The Chilly Cities now, brought to you by Burlington.
We always come to Burlington to buy our coats. And we also come to give them back, to help those in need. Can't beat the brands, the styles, and when we donate a coat at Burlington, we get 10% off our entire purchase. It makes buying coats here even more meaningful. Bring in your coats!
I recommend you all go in your closets, grab a coat, and let's make this the warmest season ever.
It's getting a little cold outside, so I wanted to remind everybody to go and donate a coat.
Donate your coats.
Make sure you donate your coats.
Thank you.
Go now to any Burlington store to donate a coat and join our coat drive.
We'll grab a heavier coat heading out the door this morning. We had a little bit of rain overnight. Behind the cold front, it's going to be a little breezy and cool. Now, our temperatures are starting out in the upper 30s to mid 40s. We'll have highs today at 52 to 53 degrees, and this upcoming weekend, much the same. Some occasional wind coming through. Next week's rain will be left behind that front with much colder air, the coldest of the season as we move through the first part of December here.
Coming up, music mogul Russell Simmons stepping aside from his businesses as he faces new sexual misconduct allegations.
And police have released this new surveillance footage of a brazen casino heist in Vegas. The search is on right now.
What is going on?
We got sucked into Jumanji. Where's my hair?
Why am I wearing short shorts in the jungle? I don't have a top.